Well, it's finally happening. We got more of the stumps dug out, and my excavator started digging the basement yesterday, and he's about a quarter done after, you know, about 11 hours worth getting it set. And we re-staked out the, I don't know if you remember from one of the previous videos I put about this, we originally laid out the house just to simply figure out what trees we want to take down and which ones we want to keep. And then we kept that batter board there, and then let me go slow so I don't get you guys dizzy. And then there's one way down there. If you just sight the back of his bulldozer, you can see the string hanging on that batter board way down there. Ran that, set the center string, measured off of that, and then right where I'm standing down here, it's about 10 feet deep, and then it, you know, it'll get shallower as we go that way because the ground slopes down. It almost seems to me like we'll almost be out of the hole by the time we get there, but that just makes it to where our house is up a little bit higher. But anyways, just to show you how we started doing it, there's not really, we haven't even really been using a transit yet. He's been using like a stick transit just to get, we're basically, you're supposed to be 9 foot walls, and there's going to be a 10-inch footing, but we're just going 10 feet down from our first reference point, and it'll be wherever the 10 inches plus the 9-foot wall goes. We're trying to plan it to where the highest point of our house, or I'm sorry, the highest point of the grade, our house will sit about 2 feet above that. And then so this is about the highest point. The driveway, you can probably tell from this that the driveway's still about 1 foot to 1.5 foot higher. So once we go 2 feet higher on this, we're hoping that the driveway, because on this particular house, we're making it to where the finished flat work slab in our garage is at the same exact height as our finished floor, where there's no stairs at all. And so on this side of this wall right here, I'll follow it around, probably right about there, here, that's where the garage starts. It comes out at a 45. And then right around to here will be almost like a reverse brick ledge, where the floor joist coming up against this wall will sit on a 2x4 mud sill. And then it's shaped like an L, where the mud sill and the bond, or I'm sorry, the bond and the joist will actually be walled off by concrete on the garage side. That way when the garage gets poured, it's still poured up to concrete even though the bond board is below, if that makes sense. So that makes it, I wouldn't say tricky, but you want to be careful you don't go too high with your house with that, because then if I go way too high with the house, my driveway will literally come up a big steep hill going into the garage. And we do have about 80 feet on the right side of the garage and only about 30 to 40 feet on the left side. So we want to make sure that that's not too steep. So anyways, let me show you what we're basically doing. Here's a good example. Because there's a lot of videos out there, but not a lot of videos to me that I found show exactly how people lay out a house and stuff. We just went every measurement. You can see we used marking paint. Of course it's going to rain tomorrow, but it's cheap. We'll just repaint it when it's dry again. But those curves points, this right here is my bow window in the front, and then you've got my entrance door right here, and then another bow window. So what my guy is going to do, instead of digging that shape, you can do it, but it's hardly worth it. Rule of thumb is you want to go about 3 feet wider from here out to the right, so the concrete guys can work on the left and right side of the wall, on the exterior side as well. But we're just going to go off 3 feet from the furthest point outward. So from this line right here, 3 feet, and then all that'll be just dug out. It's not a lot of extra work, and you want to make sure you get it right. So we're just going on the furthest. You'd have to dig, and then you'd have to kind of jog back in just a little bit, and with the excavator and all the dirt mounds you create, it's just, we're going to do a straight line. So we basically just staked out the entire house, double checked, kind of redundant to make sure. It's kind of a hard house to square, so my stakes, believe it or not, ended up about 1 inch or 2 off. So when you're 1 inch or 2 off on your stakes, but yet you're digging 3 feet wider. A concrete guy's not going to bellyache if he's got just shy of 3 feet, you know. Worst case scenario, the excavator will be here on site to chisel off any side walls or dig any, you know, he'll be here to facilitate. And then let me just show you the hole from this angle. But yeah, this is it. You can see there's the hole, and then he still has quite a bit of distance, but I think it'll go a little bit quicker because as he goes down this slope, and as the 10 foot or 9 foot 10 inches to be exact stays level, you can even see from here how much deeper it is here on the right side than it is here. And so it continually slopes. So I predict that we might be dangerously just coming right out of the ground. Like the basement on that side literally might be dug only about 1 or 2 feet down where the footing goes. And then at that point, if it's that shallow, they actually have to dig trench footings to make sure you hit the 42 inches. But that's all on them, you know. I'm not doing that work myself. I'll be doing most of the work myself. Like I'll be framing it, electrical, plumbing, hiring probably the HVAC to do, but I'll be doing the roof, the siding, and it's about gonna kill me. But a lot of people want to go, build, quick, you know, deadline. And me trying to do it, you know, without getting into too much debt. So I'm just gonna keep going and not really stress myself out too much about deadlines and just keep building. So I already predict a house of this size will probably take me like 3 years to build, maybe even 4, because we want to get it right. We have a lot of custom things inside the house that we want to do. And I guess while I'm here, and I don't know if you can see the smoke out there, we have 3 fires going. We have a lot of chaos going on in there because we're making a path. We're going to have a transformer over there by the fire along the property line, and then it's going to be a trench that's dug about 3 feet, 48 inches or whatever, for the secondary from the transformer. They knock off some pricing. I think it's like $2.98 a foot if you put your own conduit in, so they can just run their wires. So they just require a conduit and a pole, nylon pull string, so they can pull the rope in and pull the feed in. And so that's just going to come straight from there, straight through that kind of, still got maybe 1 or 2 little trees to drop. And then it's just going to come straight through here, right to the left of that wood pile, to the right of those trees, and then slope right in. And then boom, right on this corner wall. There's the corner, comes over. This is our north back wall. He said he'll just dig that stump when he's digging the basement, which I agree, because what's the point on coming here and then going back and coming back again? Yeah, so then we just did this because my nephew was working and he was all excited about spray painting, even though I knew that this would have to be repainted because of the rain. But that's the shape of it. It's like, this is like my wife's walk-in closet. This is the whole bathroom area up to those other 2 green stakes right there. And then this is our bedroom here. It looks kind of small when it's staked out, but the bedroom's basically like 15 feet wide by almost 13 feet the other way. Wide by long. I guess I did that wrong, but you know. And then the rest of the layout of the house. But yeah, this is, you know, I told my wife if I had to do it again, it's too late now because the prints have already been approved. The architect's been paid. With the house as big as this is, it wouldn't have hurt to maybe bump that 13-foot length from that stake to that stake, maybe 2 feet further, and then of course bump the bathroom area 2 feet further. But my wife and I look at it like we sleep in our bedroom, so it's not like you need some big gigantic room, and it's already big enough. This is a lot bigger than the room we've lived in for the last 20 years, so you know, whatever. I guess they'd call that a first world problem. But anyways, yeah, there's the batter board now that I've walked to the back. But the way I see it, the higher up the house, we'll just have a nicer view of the pond and stuff. But you know, it's still, I wouldn't have minded it. I wasn't, because we're not doing a walkout. We really don't have interest in a walkout. We're looking for when we get a little older, and we don't really want to be doing stairs up and down. And the first floor is already really big, and then we still have an upstairs too that have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So we just figured, you know, we're not going to have that door there, and plus for security and stuff. But yeah, that's what's going on now. I haven't done a video in a little bit about this, and maybe some people were wondering when I was ever going to start, but But just for the record, we were gonna start in May. I've been saying May, and here we are, April 25th. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, and we'd be a lot further ahead if it wasn't for the rain. This is clay, and once it rains, dude, if it rains for 2 days and then it's sunny for the next 3, you might be lucky if you can come out on that 3rd sunny day, because even though it's sunny the next day, you still can't do anything. But anyways, that's where we're at, and very exciting time. And I'll just keep posting videos on how we're doing it, because even though I'm a builder, I haven't built a house from the very beginning. I've always pretty much showed up when it's framing time. So I've never gone through this in my whole entire life until now. So this is exciting for me on this part of it. And of course the whole job will be good. So, you know, anyways, Colby, I brought Colby here too, and she's barking, wondering where I'm at. So anyways, just giving you an update. Have a good one. Signing off.